Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. We are just moments away from kickoff, and we've got a good one on tap between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Washington Redskins. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, thank you. We are technically 5 miles east of Washington, D.C. That's where the home of the Washington Redskins resides, FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Washington Redskins. Brandon Godden, Charles Davis, happy to be back alongside you. And I'll tell you what, yes, it's just week 2 of the preseason, but now they've got one game under their belts. And a lot of guys trying to prove some stuff down on the field here today.
Not only that, these coaches like to win. And I used to think it really didn't matter who won in the preseason. Then I watched some of those shows that the NFL does. And you see the coaches in preseason after a loss jumping all over their guys. So I learned one valuable lesson. Wins and losses count no matter what time of year it is.
Lutz now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. As we get a peek at their dynamic signal caller hailing from Mississippi State, it's Dak Prescott.
Sliding. 56. Yeah, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball right here.
Prescott on first down. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. Let's meet the offense. Greg Robinson. Very, very talented.
What a man to set your offensive line with. Greg Robinson can do it all. Tremendous athleticism, great strength, just coming into his own.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Prescott to throw it. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam. Oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. This is Alvin Kamara, who made the Pro Bowl in each of his first 2 NFL seasons. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. The defensive starters now for Cincinnati.
Tyrann Mathieu's instincts as a defensive back, I believe, are second to none. And that allows him to play all over the secondary. He can line up as an outside corner, inside in the slot, and that's difficult to do because you get so much traffic in there. And then, of course, they can also move him back as a safety. Anywhere you put him, though, you know he's going to end up around the football.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Come on. SOS.
They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And it's Reuben Foster in on the tackle.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
A 51-yard attempt.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over. And it's a big kick, but now we just, if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong because they have plenty of leg.
5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
2nd and 5 now. Murray. Short throw underneath to Hurst. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation,
the ball's out. McCaffrey lost it. Into the Redskins have it, they do.
No coach or team's ever happy when someone has a turnover, but if there's ever a good time to do it,
preseason.
Yeah, right now. You know that to come regular season, he's going to be ready to go, and maybe he'll remember, yeah, I don't want to do this when it comes time for the games to count.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Get a little closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
The loss of 3 on that 1st down pass play. Now 2nd and 13.
Take 4.
From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5. And now time will be called here as we've got an injured Redskin down on the field. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Prescott from the gun. Sanders has it over the middle. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. It's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they got across the 50 last time but fumbled and turned it over, so they'll be looking to have a short-term memory here, Mr. Davis.
Not only a short-term memory, but a whole lot better ball security. Because if they take care of the ball, continue to move it, their chances of scoring some points, they got to feel pretty good about. They thought they had things moving in the right direction last time. Fumbles, they don't just affect you on offense, they affect your overall team because now your defense has to make that stand up.
Give him 30 yards there.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10.
Tight guard, tight guard, tight guard.
Here's the first carry for Bo Scarborough. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. Big Eddie Goldman there on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 7, Murray. That's complete to John Ross. A gain of 28 yards there and give him the first down. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback and his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something.
He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. Bobby Wagner, the former 2nd-rounder out of Utah State, with a sack.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Murray with a 3rd and long. Forced out to his left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. Oh, now Murray has it stripped, and the Redskins scoop it.
You know, if this is the regular season, partner, we'd be talking about just how costly a mistake that was, but probably good for him to get it out of his system right now.
Just hope for him and the team it's not a sign of things to come.
Yeah, without a doubt. Plus, you got to worry about making the team. Those types of errors don't help you.
Right there, 56. Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field, D.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Calling a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 5.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy. It came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. No score after one on EA Sports. Second quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's the Redskins in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 16 yards, a 1st down. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. Chris Jones on the stop.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The Redskins on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And it's complete. Henry. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Washington passing game dialed in now. It's a 1st down. Everyone in the stadium saw that big hit coming.
And I, as a former defensive back, have to admit I'm a little disappointed.
And Kamara has it stripped, and the Bengals grab it.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. A big play there from McCaffrey. 63 yards. Terrific run from one of the fastest backs in the game today. A guy who keeps defensive coordinators up at night, no doubt.
Remember when we were meeting with the D coordinator before the game and all he talked about was run fits, making sure our guys were in the right place so there were no creases?
They missed their fits, didn't they?
Yeah, there was no fit there. The only fit was at the end when he threw his headset down after that big run.
Murray now on 1st down. That is caught at the 7. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. A 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Bengals are in for 6.
All the receivers in the league are plenty good enough. Otherwise, they wouldn't make it in the NFL. But the ones that go to the Pro Bowl, they have refined route running ability.
Will Lutz on for the point after. And he's got it to make it 7-0 Bengals.
Makes the score Bengals 7, Redskins nothing. Will Lutz.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Tariq Cohen and the rest of the offense heading back out there. And a lot of times you talk about establishing the ground game. Probably something they need to do more of here losing in the second quarter.
When you're riding your best horse, you've got to lather him up. The best running backs I've ever talked to, they've all said the exact same thing to me. I'll even break a good sweat until I get to 20 carries.
You're full of good wisdom. Let's see if they can get him into the game more now.
Switch.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. Ben Gideon in on the stop.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the 29, Prescott. That's complete to Taywan Taylor. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 15 yards on the play, first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
56. Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
On play action, Prescott. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And now time will be called here as we've got an injured Redskin down on the field. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
He's not going to get me.
A 10th carry for Kamara. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers, he's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. On 2nd down, Kamara. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. As we thought they might do here in week 2 of the preseason, they'd left their starting quarterback out there for this 2nd quarter, but I would imagine we will not see him after halftime.
Yeah, this is the time of year you've got to get your backup some reps and make sure you protect your starting quarterback.
The kick by Carlson is good, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Well, that's something of a pick-me-up. The offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
And he will be marked out right there at the 20-yard line. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
So now here in the 2nd week of the preseason, you'd expect the starters play a little bit more than they did in week 1, but not a whole lot.
So if you're an offensive coordinator, what are you looking for?
What you're looking for is things getting cleaned up as you go along because most of your playbook's probably installed. How well are they handling it? Easy in and out of the huddle? No mental mistakes? Are they starting to look like a good offensive football team?
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. You know, during these preseason games, we're in week 2 right now, it's always funny looking at our spot charts up here in the booth because with all the guys that might play in this one, it seems to get bigger and bigger each year.
Yeah, we pretty much supersize them, don't we? Because, you know, remember, they're carrying 90 now. And with the new rules, they'll carry 90 all the way through the preseason before they make the final cut. Oh, yeah, a lot of guys to learn for these games.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now it's Kamara in the passing game. Call it a 3-yard game, and that'll make it a second down. Now a handoff. Here's Kamara.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Here's Prescott. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles, early in the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I like what they tried to do there. They didn't get a completed pass downfield, but they came off of a momentum play. Big-time gain on the previous snap, came right back and threw one deep, hoping to catch them on their heels.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's Prescott. Henry's got it out on the left side. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. The Redskins on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. And again it's Prescott. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll throw again. Prescott. Over the middle, that's caught by Taylor. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. Prescott going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. Past the 20, 10, 5. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Charles, we've seen them target one of their main weapons time and time again. Maybe they went to that well too many times there.
Yeah, and it's so difficult to determine how many times is too many because how many times have we seen a team go and play and say, until they stop us, we'll keep going. Well, they got stopped on that one, and it cost them 6 points.
Lutz good on the extra point. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in just a moment. But first, let's give everybody a look at what's coming up this weekend in the NFL. In our game, still a lot to keep an eye on. Guys battling, trying to make a ball club. We'll send it back to 2 guys already on our team. That's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Expect to see a good number of backups going forward as we are back and underway here in preseason week 2. And he'll take it back to about the The 19-yard line.
Let's go, baby.
First and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now it's the backup Kaiser. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. That's complete to Austin Eckler, the running back. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary.
And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Austin Eckler, 71 yards. And the Bengals add on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Lutz with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So now we look at the Redskins offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
First carry here for Tywan Jones. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
He'll return it from the 6. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Bengals will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Deshaun Kaiser making his way out to the huddle. He's been a good game manager. They're winning here in the third quarter, but really the ground game is where it's been at for them, hasn't it?
So whatever the game plan was, you just got to focus on continuing to run the football. And really that takes the pressure off of the guy throwing it around. Doesn't have to be the focal point. Hand it off, let him chew up the yardage in big plays, and your team's winning. The only people upset, the fantasy guys who may have started him at quarterback in their leagues.
And we'll see if they continue with the recipe of the ground game. They started on the ground with Eckler. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when the next defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the gun, Kaiser. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Here's Jones. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Good one, boy. Let's go. Let's go.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Play fake. Kaiser. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. He was trying to find Noah Fant, the tight end, and it's 3rd and short. It's been a struggle for him accruing yards in this game passing the football. So there he said, hey, I'm going to try to chuck it deep, but another incompletion.
Has to be a little bit frustrating because of what you just described. It's been a struggle for him here in the 2nd half, hoping for one big shot to get him out of the doldrums.
And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you should have a few men in the box there.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
He's going to air one out. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Now the Bengals on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be third and forever. From the shotgun, it's Kaiser. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Hall. Give him 19 on the play, but they will still come up a bit short. And now it's fourth down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in fourth and manageable.
Just a little short, though. And now on 4th and 1, it's a fake. The fake punt works to absolute perfection, and the Bengals are able to grow their lead. Well, that one's hard to believe. Not something you see every day. A very long run for the big guy.
Normally we see his counterpart, right? The scat back, the guy with the so-called speed. But we saw a little bit of everything there, didn't we? The big, powerful man.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. So the drive there took 6 plays. And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. They trail here by 24 points. Got to get going soon, you'd have to think, as they come up 1st and 10. Jones. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll go again to Jones. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. A good run as he works his way for 9 that time, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and just a few inches.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete.
An eligible receiver downfield. Offense.
So they decline it, as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you've got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down to close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. They scored a touchdown the last time they had the football, but things going to be a little bit more difficult this time.
Oh, certainly, because where they're starting, the goal isn't even thinking about a touchdown at this point. They're thinking about field position, a couple of first downs in order to give some room for their punter, and maybe flip the field position for their defense. And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They'll throw again from their own end zone. Completes it to Fant on the right side. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Back now at FedEx Field. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. And the Bengals on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Now they'll bootleg it with Kaiser. Throw left side, taken in by Renfro. And he is going to get the first down, it looks like, as he's up to the 12.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Rush in, rush in, rush in.
On 2nd and 2, Kaiser is going to float this one deep. And got his man complete. The 20, 10, and all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Bengals have got it on cruise control. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march up another 15 against your squad. And
taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Well, depending on the temperament of the head coach, he's either turning to the bench and screaming, "Where was that all game?" Or maybe he's just kind of keeping it to himself and saying, okay, it's something to build.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Julian Love, the rookie from Notre Dame. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
Well, this Defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Bravo!
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. That's caught. It's the rookie, Kelvin Harmon. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Here's McSorley on 1st and 10. And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. Dwayne Smoot, credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep...
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. A gain there of 30 big ones. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
And that run was memorable for only one reason. There was absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. And he's got this down to the 35. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
34, right 34. Scoop, scoop, scoop. I'm coming. 34 is the mark.
3rd down, they're going to throw for it with McSorley. And that will be incomplete.
Well, touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Here's McSorley to throw. That's to his running back, complete. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And the Redskins defense going to take over on the turnover on downs. Bortles now 3 out of 5 since taking over as he's given his guys a first down. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
12 yards there and a first down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He's going to let it fly. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Throwing again on 2nd down. Bortles gets this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. The kick by Carlson is good. And that will knock this down to still a very large 29-point deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
The Bengals getting set to go. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. That one looks like he'll throw here. Throw left side complete. It's Harmon. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20. Henderson now on 1st and 10.
And they just hit another big completion there, and I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
From the 44, McSorley. Over the middle, complete. That's Hall. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Ready, ready. 18 Gator. Hey, tight down. There you go. Hey, check 24. Check 24. Hey, seam 6. Get it.
McSorley, 1st and 10. Escaping the pressure right. Going for it all. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10 once again from the 28.
Check 50. Hey, orbit.
2nd and 10, it's McSorley. It fights him off. But now he's swallowed up and taken down. And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This will be 3rd and a mile.
Hey, high 7. 56. Mike's 56. Come to my work.
Here's McSorley now, 3rd and long. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. From Washington, thanks for watching, and good night, everybody.